So today's project is doing a carbon fiber wrap on my faded spoiler. And let me lead off with just saying I have never done a wrap before. It is my first attempt, and I'm sure I made a lot of mistakes, and people out there could have done a much better job than me, but I gave it a shot. Also, when I did this one, I put a layer of wax underneath it to protect and have a barrier in between them, but then I thought maybe that's not the best idea. So what I did for comparison is when I wrapped the mirror, I did not put a coat of wax on it. So we'll just kind of see for comparisons how well they hold up together. The paint on this car is in pretty good shape, but with the exception of this spoiler, it's made out of some kind of plastic material, and I have tried polishing it and waxing it. That's kind of hard to see, but there is just where it has faded and there's no more clear coat left, and it looks kind of bad. Like everything, I went to YouTube and watched some videos. So I ordered this. This is a gloss carbon fiber-ish looking thing. I've had it done with the matte stuff, and I like the matte stuff because it's very durable, so I don't know how durable this is going to be, but what's the worst that can happen? It's a sticker you can peel off. And it came with a squeegee, a towel, scissors, and a knife. I have the Windex for cleaning. I use Viva paper towels because it's almost like a terry cloth towel. It is so thick, it's low lint, very durable. They're a little bit more, but I use these for everything. And then I'm going to polish it to make sure, get it as smooth as possible. I like the McGuire products. And then I'm going to put a coat of wax on it, because whenever I put a sticker on a car, I like to put a fresh coat of wax such that on down the line, if that glue bonds too much, when you go to peel it off, it won't take the paint on the car off. And then a hair dryer to help on the edges. So we'll give it a good serious cleaning with the Windex. I also want to pay attention to the edges here. So the next step is to give it a good polish. Okay, I did the polish and rub my hand across and it feels real smooth. So next step is I want to put the wax on. And we'll take the wax off. We'll have a nice clean surface. All right, so I got twice the amount I needed, so I cut it in half because I figured I'll probably mess it up the first time. And so I have a nice bone piece. I cut it extra large, so there's lots of overhang on all the sides. Even notched this out so I could lay it flat down. The directions say take some magnets and put them in the middle, or put them on one side to hold it in place so it doesn't shift. I don't have magnets, plus it's plastic, and so I tried tape on the glass, but of course I had put Rain-X on the glass, so the tape doesn't want to stick. So I'm not sure how this is going to go, but I'm gonna peel it back and start from the middle and just see how it goes. Do the rest of it. Okay, so I worked all the bubbles out, and this squeegee that came with it, it's too rough. It actually, I see it's putting some scratches on there, so I'm just kind of using my hand here. Maybe you could put some Windex on top and make it smoother, but this I don't like. But I probably can use it on the edges though. So now I'm going to cut along here with the knife, which I'm a little nervous about. That's what they did in the video. They cut it along the knife and then they put it in here and pushed it down into the gap. So let's try that. So I thought I was cutting it a little long by cutting it up in here, but actually I wasn't, because this is going to flip down into here over the edge, so I should have cut it even wider. So I guess I got to keep with what I'm doing. So, and then this can just go over the edge like that. So I'm going to try that the rest of the way. Okay, so what I'm doing is cutting it about a fingernail width longer than I can feel the edge on here. And then take the squeegee here and I'm tucking it in and driving it down in there. So I like that. Unfortunately down here I'm a little short, so if it's going to peel happen here. But on the video they said take a hairdryer, heat this up to 120 degrees, and that should seal and bond that edge. Find out. Okay, that worked out. Well, now I'm getting to the point where I'm tucking it under, and so what I'm doing is I'm just kind of going down and seeing how much I can do that won't be bunched up, and just doing that edge and pulling on it. And it looks like I'm going to have to employ the hairdryer next. Okay, the hairdryer is definitely doing the trick. So I put it on high and just warm it up, the material up, and it becomes much more pliable and stretchy. And I'm just kind of working it down with my fingers and working on getting a good edge here. And then I'll go back and underneath and see if I can sort that out a little better. And I've also got to do the tail light. Okay, so the squeegee does come in handy because when you use the hairdryer, things get pretty hot. So I've got it tucked on the edge nice. I put some heat in here to get it to draw in. This I'll cut out. And so what I'm just trying to do is get this into a nice edge over here, and then I'm gonna have to address the end pieces, which is probably gonna be a bit of a challenge. But I'm getting better at it. It's coming along. All right, so I was kind of fighting with this last bit because it was just too long and it was bunching up even with the hairdryer. So what I've done is I trimmed it much closer here, so there's just a little bit that goes on the edge. You're not going to see underneath there anyway. So I'm just leaving that much, and now I'm going to go back and see if I can tuck that in and get so there's none of these things where it bunches up. Okay, yep, that worked. It got up there real nice, up underneath here. You can still feel a few bumps, but I think it's pretty good. So then here, learning from my last mistake, I've left extra along here, and then I'm going to heat it up and use the squeegee and push it in there. So as you can see, the lens has a nice bit of give if you stick something in there, and it'll actually tuck in there. So that worked out real well. The edge here, and I've just of course got too much material now, so what I did is I stretched it out as good as I could to get the part you're going to see here, and then I clip this here and cut out this triangle here, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to overlap it and give that a shot. Okay, not super happy with how it turned out, but it's in a part you won't see. There's still some little nubby things along here, so I just heated it up real high and just run with that. See how well I do on the other side. All right, well, I can't say I did any better on this side, maybe a little worse. I tried cutting it and then overlapping it, but it doesn't seem to like to stick to itself. So that's something I learned. I guess I need to watch some more videos before I do it, but you're only going to see that when it's open. So I think I'm happy with it. So let's see what it looks like when it's closed. It looks good, and I was pretty pleased with this back edge. I think I did a fairly decent job on. Alright, so that's my first attempt at doing a wrap. Not the best, but it's alright. So if you guys decide to do it, you might want to do a little more research on how to do those edges, because they're tricky. I went ahead and decided to try and do the mirror, and the top turned out okay, and the side. I got some bunches down on the bottom, but you really can't see them. Only messed up one place. I trimmed too early, and so when I was coming through here, I trimmed this off here, and I started working down here with the heat, and it shrunk up here. So I guess the moral of the story is wait to do that final trim until everything's in place. But when you back up, it doesn't look half bad. I'm just going to do the one to see how it holds up, and wait till a real hot day, a real cold day, and see if it turns into a mess or not. And if it sticks pretty well, then I'll do the other one eventually.